It's the battle of Dutch number 1 and number 2 player at the Chennai Grand Masters 2025. The all important clash between Anish Giri on the right of your screen and Jorden van Foreest. This is going to be an absolutely electric encounter. Anish has had 8 draws until now in 8 rounds. He's on 4 points out of 8. While Jorden van Foreest has had the most topsy-turvy event possible, losing games and winning games, and wow. And he's played some incredible level of chess. He has been right now on a score of 4 points himself as well. So this will be interesting to see as to which player now moves forward and is able to score 5, because one can believe that with 5 points you will finish really in top 3 positions in this tournament, which is actually a fantastic thing, a handshake. And off we go. Anish starts the clock. It's 90 minutes plus 30 seconds increment. No second time control. D4 by Jorden. Anish brings his knight out to F6 and pawn to C4. He goes pawn to E6, and Jorden is very combative as a player. He goes knight C3. He wants to fight. Anish Giri brings his bishop out to B4. The Nimzo Indian is on the board, and queen comes up to C2. We have the classical Nimzo Indian, and now black castles. And A3 played. This line is supposed to be very interesting because, you know, the modern line also is E4. There's also this very interesting line. But with bishop C3 and queen takes C3, if you think about it carefully, the imbalances are very clearly drawn here. White has the bishop pair. What black has is quick development. His king is castled. Strikes in the center with D5, and so white will try to stabilize the position, which Jorden has done with E3. There's also a possibility to put the bishop out on G5 before E3. He goes B6, wants to bring his bishop out to A6. That's the plan here. He plays his pawn to B4, and now this is a move which may not be particularly great, gaining space on the queen side, because Anish can strike on the queen side with A5 himself, but rather Anish goes developing with knight BD7. So he takes the pawn on D5, and now you can take back knight takes D5, which is actually a very nice move. If you take back with the pawn, that kind of makes the position more rigid. But with knight, you're keeping it fluid. The knight attacks the queen. You have C5 on cards. Queen comes back to B2. And pawn pushes forward to C5. White goes knight to F3 here. And Anish plays his queen to C7. It's very important now to take on C5, because then you can develop your pieces, get the bishops out, castle, get the rook to C1. Jorden thinks for a bit and makes a huge mistake. He makes a blunder where C4 becomes possible, and that's a big problem here. Pawn to C4 is coming in. Will Anish find it? He's taking his time and goes towards the C pawn, and C4 is on the board. The threat is C3, winning a piece, and if you go rook C1, I have B5. So already Anish has a sizable advantage. Queen c2 played, attacking the pawn on c4, putting the queen here. Now b5 comes in. Yes, pawn to b5 played. A strong move here. And he goes knight to g5, attacking the h7 pawn. And knight comes out to f6. So white now plays pawn to e4. This is very interesting because where can the knight go? You know, knight b6, there is e5. But e5 by Anish could such a powerful move. E takes d5. And now you can see he's given up a piece, but e takes d4 with this amazing phalanx of pawns. Jorden long castles. Oh my goodness, what a game this is turning out to be. Absolutely stunning. c3 played by Anish. Maybe not the best. The best move was pushing the a pawn, but he goes c3. And Anish is hoping for the bishop to go back so that there can be a check here and he can win the knight. But king b1, what a classy move. If you take on d2, this queen takes c7 hanging. So goes a5. Anish continues his offensive on the queen side. And now the bishop comes back to c1. He goes queen to b6, defending the pawn here. And bishop comes out to d3, attacking the h7 pawn. Anish goes h6, which is actually not the best. It was okay to give up this pawn and take on b4. But with h6, now knight can come back to f3, putting pressure on the d4 pawn. Look at the times on the clock. Anish is left with just 4 minutes, while Jorden van Foreest has 52 minutes here. He goes back, knight to f3. And now Anish has to be careful. He's low on time. The position is also equalized. He makes a mistake with bishop g4. And now guys, this is amazing move. Knight takes d4. How does that even work? Because if queen d4, there's bishop h7 and I win your queen. But if there's bishop d1, rook d1. Yes, knight takes d4 played. Bishop d1. And that's the point. You take back with the rook so that you protect the knight on d4. Takes it. And now if queen takes d4, there's bishop h7. So it takes on b4. And Jorden plays queen b3, blocking the pawns. What a game this is turning out to be. As of now, if you look at the material, Jorden has 2 pieces for a rook, but Anish has a rook and now 2 pawns. And look at these pawns. They are incredibly strong. Jorden comes back bishop c2. So he's kind of blockaded the black pawns very well. And now Anish plays pawn to a2. He's moving forward, king a1, nicely. The king is nicely tucked in the corner with black's own pawns shielding it. And now, with rook a3 and all not coming, it's time for white to launch an attack. And that's an important thing now. Jorden feels it in him that this is his game. But how should he continue? Because black does have knight d7, knight c5 idea and b3, b2. That would be something that Anish would dream of. He goes knight f5. What a move there. Queen takes f2 is possible. And that is insane. Like, you take the pawn and Jorden is ready to give it up because he sees that there are certain attacking chances, and Anish goes and chops the pawn. He has 4 minutes 50 seconds. Suddenly Anish has started to play super quick. His last few moves have helped him maintain his time on the clock. Knight check. No, he goes d6. Not even a check on e7. d6 has been played. The best move now is rook a e8. He goes rook f e8, which is also fine. d7. Maybe there is rook d8. So he goes knight to e7. And now king f8 would not be the best square to put the queen because of bg6 threatening a mate, and if you take knight g6 is a mate. So king h8 makes a lot of sense. If you take on f7 here, queen c2 leads to a mate quickly. So that's the reason why you have to be careful here. Whoa, bishop h6 taken by Jorden. Because now you take here, I go queen f7. If you take on c2, I have queen f6 mate coming up. That's the point behind bishop h6, to open up the king completely. The best move for Anish is knight g8 now, to force the trade of the knights. And he's going for the knight. Will he play it? If he plays knight g8, he's winning. Anish has 3 minutes here. In fact, he goes knight d7 with just 37 seconds on the clock, and now he's worse. Because bishop e3 is a killer move here. Bishop e3, queen e3, queen f7, and white is back in the game. Okay, b3, Anish can keep fighting. But this is what Jorden has to find, bishop e3. If he finds this, he can win this pawn, then knight g6 check. It's a crazy position. But Jorden comes back to c1, a huge blunder. A huge blunder there. And Anish is like, Jorden, what the hell? Knight c5 played. And you can see that Jordan's idea was queen d5. He wanted to checkmate here. But queen c2 check, and queen h7 is just winning for black. He misses this queen move coming backwards from c2 to h7. And you can see the look on his face. He's completely dejected. He has to give up the queen. Queen takes, knight takes b3. Oh my goodness. What a turnaround here. Bishop b3. And Anish is going to finish off this game with a flourish now. With queen b2 check coming in. He finds it. If bishop b2, cb2, king b2, another queen comes in. And Jorden resigns. Anish Giri wins his first win of the Chennai Grand Masters 2025. With this, he moves to 5 out of 9 and eventually managed to secure the second place in the tournament. Jorden, what a guy. He plays such amazing and brilliant chess with sacrifices all across the board. But this was not his game. It was not meant to be. And Anish Giri, well, it's amazing that he managed to stay unbeaten in this tournament and score this critical win here. 5 out of 9 is his score, and a big congratulations to him. Jorden van Foreest really entertained everyone in the tournament, but well, he has to go back a little bit heartbroken there. Both the players analyze there, which is nice to see. Of course, they are good friends of each other, but their rivalry is also strong, with Dutch number 1 this time triumphing over Dutch number 2, and we will continue. They are seeing their battles in the future as well. For now, this is Sagar Shah signing off from Chennai. Bye bye.